As the world and aviation are starting to look toward recovery, Shell are hosting a series of webinars on topic which we hope may help our airlines customer during this difficult time to help clear the runway of any obstacle. We would like to get you back in the air where you belong.
We're here to learn about the background of superabsorbent polymers and how Shell's been involved with investigating flight safety related events. Most filtration going into wing at the moment is done via filter monitors. And so the filter is really there as a last chance safety device for fuel going onto the aircraft. And we've used this for many years. Probably 90% of the aircraft fuelings or more use this type of technology. But we first saw trouble with this back in 2010. It happened after an aircraft was fueled in a location called Surabaya in Indonesia. And on that flight, the pilot lost control of the engines. This aircraft landed very high speed on a very long runway. So we were very close to having an aircraft loss here. But for the skill of the pilots and the training of the airline itself, that we might well have had. So this ended with an investigation to try and understand what happened. So Shell was asked to be involved with this this investigation. We were one of the few oil companies that has technical capability to be able to test filters at full scale and full flow rates. We found that when you get superabsorbent polymer wet, then it doesn't just expand and grow, but it also softens in the process. And that makes it problematic when you're looking at filters, because filters are designed to hold solid particulates that don't change their form. Unfortunately, we then start to see a series of incidents happening within the industry. There was an IATA task force that was set up to investigate if there was any link between the presence of superabsorbent polymer and these operational incidents. The conclusion of that work is that we have to remove superabsorbent polymer. And what does this mean for airlines? Strictly speaking, any fuel that has superabsorbent polymer in it doesn't meet the fuel specifications. It's also clear that airlines themselves are responsible for ensuring that the fuel meets the specification.
Now I'll turn it over to our special guest, Andreas Schmidt from Lufthansa, to give us an airline's perspective.
Fortunately, there are very rare latest investigation reports available which indicate that SAP contamination was root causing latest events. But there was no actual data available for SAP contamination checks. So there are additional mitigation measures, as it has been said, implemented in the industry, but their effectiveness was not yet proven according to our knowledge. So we went on setting up our own program and tried to see how these mitigation measures were effective or not. We can conclude, I think, that a real safety issue is detected and needs proper mitigation. There's no safe option available besides phasing out filter monitors, and we need to act now and play our role. Change can only happen if we all start acting.
What I don't understand is why this is still an issue and that no airlines can claim SAP-free fueling today. What exactly are the reasons we aren't there yet?
It's mainly because there's a large number of the airline interplane activity is done through filter monitors. So the only currently approved alternative to filter monitors is to use filter water separators. You've got a physically much bigger vessel involved with filter water separators. Most vehicles don't have the space to fit them, and if they do, you're often exceeding the weight limitations of the vehicles. And so lots of the work that's happened since 2017 is focusing on a solution that fits into the existing vessels. That's where we've done quite a lot of work with Shell Jet Protection. And I'm proud to say that Shell's been involved with developing this alongside Saudi Aviation over the past few years.
That's good to see that there are options for SAP refueling being developed, and I'm glad that Shell is also doing its part. Is there any recommendation that you would like to share for them to prepare for this transition, for this management of change? Any big recommendation?
First of all, the data shows, so coming back to basics of what are we trying to do, the data shows that all filter monitors have the potential to emit superabsorbent polymers, even when operated correctly and within the bulletin's limitations. So that's point number one. There's no safe limit for superabsorbent polymer within aircraft systems, so the engine equipment manufacturers will tell you that. We must move away from filter monitors. And as safety is Shell's #1 priority, we're taking that responsibility very seriously, and we're investing heavily in this transition and accelerating it. The second point is that it encourages others to act early. So at least form a transition plan to be SAP-free. So this is where we start to need to act together as an industry to drive that aspiration forward. Solutions are appearing that don't require a filter vessel change, and they're starting to become approved. So those conversations and those plans need to be set in place of how an operator is going to be removing filter monitors, what time scale, and how is that going to work. So finally, I think you can act today by working with suppliers. The industry as a whole can be working with airlines, OEMs and suppliers to make sure that we're SAP-free and send a strong message to the industry that we need to be incorporating within the decision matrix during the fuel contracting phase of how to accelerate that transitional process. So only by helping to accelerate the industry do we move to a safer place more quickly.